was the Boulet Brothers and I saw this in an audition tape, I was like, this is scary.
The pinnacles are filth, horror, and glamour. Which one do you think this is? Hello everyone, and welcome to Jinxed with Minx, a podcast and YouTube show where we cover all things film, fandom, and horror. I'm your host, Nathaniel Minx. Well, kind of. Today I am dressed like Waluigi, who is my husband, because we are filming this episode on Halloween. But when I'm not dressed like the sexiest person alive, I am a filmmaker, video editor, creator, drag artist, all-around creative being, and I'm currently standing outside your house. Today I am joined by a streamer, creator, social worker, and very close friend of mine. Please welcome my co-host today, NandosHome! Hello, how are you?
I'm doing amazing. It is Halloween. It is Dragula night. It is the night where all hollows come out.
And holes.
Apparently, and holes, and apparently a Waluigi. So I'm very excited. Thank you for having me.
Of course. I'm so happy to have you. I do have a couple questions for you, though, before we start. So, I have three. First off, what are your pronouns?
He, him.
Love it. What is your favorite horror movie?
Has to be Scream.
Yes! Mine too. And a little question that is geared mainly towards you. What is your favorite Sims 4 pack?
My favorite Sims 4 pack is actually the Get Famous pack. I love drama, and that pack added so much drama to the game.
Okay, I like it. So today we are talking about this, not season, the series premiere of the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans. I'm so fucking excited. Like, we've waited years for this.
3 years since season 4?
3 years?
2 years.
Nando, it was literally last October.
Oh my god, was it?
Yeah.
Let me tell you, it's been like 4 years since last October.
Well, drag year's been a drag year.
Drag years. Oh my god, how many drag years? 1 year is 4 drag years. Let's start
exactly. Dragula has been around since late 2016. It premiered, I think, on Halloween night in 2016. So it's been how many years? I'm not good at mental math, but it's been
7.
Yeah.
No.
So
6,
7,
8.
We're guesstimating here.
But it's been 8 years, or in drag years, it's been 24.
Exactly. Dragula's been around for an undisclosed amount of years, as we've discovered today. So now that we're at Titans, like, what are your thoughts overall just with this season as a whole? Just the fact that we've gotten here on this journey, because it's been a long time in the making.
It's been a very bumpy road, let me say that. But I'm so excited because when any sort of series gets a spin-off, that means that series has made it. And to see Dragula get Titans, I'm excited that there is a space for this kind of drag. There is a space on television for even more drag competitions. And I am so excited that this is the first of many. And so far, I am very, very impressed from a editing standpoint, storyline standpoint, the looks. I think it is bringing it, the drama. It is bringing peak reality television.
100%. And the extra long premiere definitely helps with that. Well, we fully I thought it was a double premiere, but turns out it's just an extended premiere that's the length of 2 episodes. So I guess Twitter just read that article wrong and just ran with it, but let's get right in.
And we can't read.
No, we can't. And we also don't know basic math in years.
We're trying, but
we're trying
to read. Wait.
Listen, but we do know how to do a good Waluigi cosplay. Let's just get right into it. So we start off our episode with very, like, a black and white intro and what the Boulets revealed on Twitter to be Boulet Mansion. And to me, just from, like, the intro with the text and everything, it was very Munsters vibe. And just always, like, the little sketches that they have in the beginning, I love them so much. I know some people love them. I know some people hate them. But I think they're great. And, like, the Frankenstein hair that they had and the way they just, like, welcomed us in and everything to their
it set the tone perfectly.
100%.
that is what the Boulets have on lockdown. It's setting that tone. It's setting the storyline. It's making you invested from like the very first minute of the show.
Completely. They know exactly how to draw you in because, I mean, the Halloween ball just happened, and I feel like I'm talking about, like, I saw the season 4 tour, like, all the time, but I'm passionate. But, like, they know how to put on a show, and no matter what you're feeling, whether you're walking into the building having a good time or a not so great time, they know how to flip on that switch, and you're just automatically in. Like, they know how to throw a fucking party. But our first Titan to enter into... What are we calling it? The Underworld? Is that what I believe that's what... Yeah, so...
reanimate into the Underworld?
The first Titan to be it's not resurrected. Our first Titan to reemerge from darkness, there we go, that's what we'll use, is none other than the icon, the legend, Koco Caine, who... Everything. Like, what better way to start Titans than titties first? Because, literally, you just walk out of the coffin and the first thing you see is titties. It's so great.
It makes great television. And the format that they have now started by having them come out of this casket, I think it's iconic. It's perfect for the brand. It definitely made me now wonder, are they going to pull a gag in the future seasons of, like, who's in the casket?
Yeah, well, I mean, they brought back Dali. Like, what if there's 11 competitors on Titans? Like, what if there's, like, a secret 11th competitor we haven't met yet?
Who do you think that could be?
I don't know, but, like, every season since season 2, it's always been 11 competitors. Resurrection doesn't really count because that was kind of its own thing. But they've always had 11, but since it's technically Titans, like, they can also kind of do their own thing. But I'm being a conspiracy theorist here. But Koco, I'm so happy to see her back. Next up to walk in is, all the way from season 1, the only one repping season 1, Melissa BeFierce. That bitch, she just looks great. I'm happy to have her. Like, because I feel like at this rate, we've seen the entire cast of season 1 just from Resurrection and Titans alone. But if there was anyone that was going to rep season 1, it's Melissa, 100%.
I remember her iconic in the first episode of season 1. Everyone was gagged to see her. And to now have her back in Titans, I think not only is she going to be able to show her growth, but just like Koco, she makes good TV. She knows how to bring the drama. She knows how to bring the storylines. She knows that there's camera rollings, and she's going to make every minute worth it.
Next up, we have Evah Destruction, who I feel like I said this for everybody last week with Cass, and I'm saying it for everybody now. I love everybody. And Evah, because I just literally finished rewatching season 3 this morning. And I love Evah and everything she stands for. She's a huge little monster. Obviously, I relate. And just, I love Evah. Just so great. Amazing. I'm so happy to see her back. Next up, we have Erika Klash, who I love Erika. I just love everyone. And when she came in, everybody, like, instantly started underestimating her. Which, I know she was underestimated on her season.
It's the wig.
But I feel like she proved it, though, on her season. That, like, well, her aesthetic, she couldn't quite figure out at the time how it fits in a Dragula. I feel like she knows that now. And I feel like, also, just through the exterminations alone, Erika has proved that she has the grit to be there. So I don't quite understand why people are underestimating her so much, especially when the first challenge hasn't even happened yet. With the wig, though, she did say that she's wearing it for ceremonial reasons.
You like everyone just as much as Erika likes that wig.
Bitch. I hate you. Okay, so next up, we have our second and final one from season 3. We have Yovska, who, this look, the little Canadian flag and just the white and red, like, sure, cool, okay. Great. It's your entrance look, do what you want. But a moment that when I was rewatching it that I didn't remember, Koco, like, goes in to hug Yovska, is just like, oh my god, it's so good to see you. And then Koco goes to the camera and just goes, who is that? And Jesus Christ. Thing is, Yovska wasn't even wearing a mask this time. Fucking Koco. Love her. Next up, we have the Lizard Queen herself, Miss Astrud Aurelia. Or as on Twitter, Astrud Aurelia. Who... I feel like Astrud is very hungry this season. And it's what I love to see, because just like Hoso, who hasn't walked in yet, but everybody was like, Astrud, is it a little too soon for you to come back? Which I don't think it is, because I definitely feel like on season 4, Astrud was ready. It just so happens that the second episode wasn't her challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And she made sure to let us know during the reunion that she's won Dragula World. So I think Astrud's more than ready, and I'm very excited to see her back. What are your thoughts on Astrud?
I kind of forgot about her. I honestly did. Like, even from season 4, now that I rewatched it, I remember she had the breakdown episode 2, and she really did kind of out herself out of the competition. So I don't know what to base anything off of it. I haven't seen her on socials. She did mention again in that episode that she won Dragula World. So for me, it's a clean slate. Like, there's not going to be disappointment. So I'm excited to see her journey, whether it's long or short.
Definitely check out her Insta for the looks that she posted for the episodes that she missed. Because, bitch, so good. So good. If Astrud stuck around, she would have eaten everyone alive. Next up, we have, right off the season 4 world tour, Miss Hoso Terra Toma.
Miss Hoso.
I love Hoso. I say that for everybody, but I just love all of them. But if people were thinking that Astrud was back too early, literally everyone in the room was saying how, like, Hoso not only was fresh off the season, but fresh off the tour. So do you think it's too early for Hoso, or not quite?
I think that tour bus dropped her off right at the front door, because when you're on a tour like that, do you have the mental capacity to prep yourself for a competition like this? Like, I don't know if she's ready. And so far from what I've seen, it's kind of interesting. And once we talk about the storylines later, I'm interested to see if that's going to come into play.
I definitely feel like Hoso has what it takes. But what's so interesting, and I'm glad you touched on that, because I listen to the Boulets podcast every week, Creatures of the Night, love it. But they actually revealed about, like, for when Titans was announced, they, like, talked about the cast a little bit. And for when they revealed that when Hoso got the call to be on Titans, Hoso was still on the tour, and Hoso literally had to keep it under wraps. Like, not only with, like, Dali, Saint, and Sigourney, who were also there, because, like, Hoso was under NDA, but also, like, with the Boulets and Ian DeVogler, like, Hoso could not say anything. So, like, Hoso's just there on the tour, kikiing with everybody on the bus, but in the back of their mind, it's just like, holy fuck, I'm on Titans. Good job for Hoso for not breaking that.
Right? I wonder, though, if that took a mental toll, because that is a lot to keep hidden, especially when you're, like, surrounded by all these people that have done these competitions, people that could help you, but it's like you kind of have to just succeed in silence.
That's true, but I definitely think, because Hoso, if I have to describe their dragon one way, Hoso is a force, and I feel like if anybody has the power to push through, like, just the go-go-go-ness of doing Dragula for almost 2 years, it's Hoso. Next up, we have the one, the only, the dead bird himself, Abhora. I the whole interaction that Abhora instantly had when they walked in, like, Abhora was just like, "Oh, Evah!" And then Evah just goes, "Hey, dum-dum," and everything, and just the interaction is just off the bat, like, and the way Uber. Why did I say Uber?
This podcast episode sponsored by Uber. Use code.
Yes. But the way Abhora literally walks is just like, the pageant queen has arrived, and just Abhora is just here to fuck everyone up this season and just to mess up. Like, obviously, we're gonna talk about what happens later in the episode in a little bit, but Abhora's here just to cause chaos, and I live. One thing that Abhora says, though, is they're like, I wonder when they're gonna bring someone in who's gonna go home first. And then the camera cuts instantly to Kendra entering.
The shady editors.
So fucking shady. But I love it. It was so good. Kendra is a bad bitch. She's here for a good time. And, like, I will say, though, this look, I'm a little interested as to why she chose this. But to be fair, you're on Dragula. You don't, like, Sigourney literally got concussed last season, and Astrud almost, like, had a panic attack over almost getting hit by a car. So, I mean, she's definitely in a comfortable look that she's ready for. So, you gotta give her credit for that. Meanwhile, we have... Exactly. And Teal. But Kendra is also instantly excited to see Koco, which is a note that we will touch on later. And then our final Titan to enter the room, which of course they saved her for last. It is Victoria Elizabeth motherfucking Black, who literally as soon as Victoria walks in the room, everybody was ready to pack up and go home.
Yep, everyone was gagged.
Melissa was literally like, bye y'all, I'm leaving, and just starts to walk out the door. I'd be fucking scared.
Honestly a fierce competitor.
Now that we have all our Titans in the room, instead of everybody being like, oh my god, look at all of us, we're on Titans, like instead of just kikiing and having a good time, of course this is Dragula. And the first thing that everyone talks about is who's going home first. And everyone, once again, just starts laying into Erika. Which I think, like, yeah, when you first enter a room, you're kind of sizing each other up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But also, we're talking about who's going home first when we don't even know what the first challenge is.
I truly think that wig is one of her Horcruxes, and she needs to get rid of it.
Yeah, and all the other 8 are just in the way. You gotta tease it and then restyle it just to get one.
Oh, they didn't tease it. They pissed it off.
But instantly, before any drama or any storylines can really get started, the lights turn red and everybody is summoned out onto the main stage, which I think it's a new set. It looks like
they got a new budget for that set. It looks amazing.
Yeah, well, the stage isn't like higher up, and of course there's the stairway behind, which comes into play later. But we have a brand new stage, and we come to meet the Boulets for the first time this season, and the Titans come to meet the Boulets for the first time this season. And we instantly find out there's going to be no exterminations this season.
Ooh.
Which at first I was like, how is this gonna work? I was a little bit like, okay, how are we doing this? But then the Boulets start to go into the new rules for the competition, and that is there will be no exterminations, but there will be an extermination level fright feat every single week that the whole cast will have to do. And you have to pass it in order to even make it to the floor show that week. If you fail to complete the fright feat, not only are you eliminated, but whoever gets eliminated before you, like the most instant person to get eliminated, comes back and takes your place in the competition.
Which is insane. Like I did not even imagine a twist like that in Dragula. And for that to happen, it's like you can be eliminated. You can take a vacation and still come back. And it's just like that is intimidating.
Yeah. I do like though how it's only like the most recent one. I think that's very interesting because of course on competition shows we've seen where like an early out like comes back and like slays it at the end. But I think we know with competition rules, if you're like the first eliminated and then you come back towards the end, like there's not a huge strong chance that you're gonna win.
Oh yeah.
But if you were the most recently eliminated, you can come back in there and really fuck shit up and even make it to the end. And I think that's very, very interesting. And our first eliminated Titan this week, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw them again next week.
Really?
Yeah, not that I feel like anybody's going to fail the fright feat, but I don't know, for some reason I don't feel like they're done quite yet. We find out that the first challenge of this season is all the way a comeback from season 3. It is the Halloween house party, which I'm so happy that they brought this challenge back, because when we got this challenge originally, it was done super well, but it was only with the top 4. But now we get a whole cast to show all the best like Halloween cliche looks and everything. What are your thoughts on the challenge?
I love it. It's one of those challenges that is really going to showcase everyone equally, because everyone can do their own unique thing, showing their signature drag, but also their creativity. And it's also a lip sync and almost an acting challenge in one. So it's a really well-rounded challenge, and I was so excited to see it. I was very surprised by who succeeded it.
After the whole whirlwind of getting to like see all of our Titans again, getting to know these brand new rules, basically Dragula Mario Party. Yes, I made a Waluigi and Mario pun not only because I'm dressed like the character. I promise that's a coincidence. But we get into our first fright feat, which is a Dragula take on bobbing for apples, which instead of water and some good old Macintosh or Empire or Fiji apples, it is literally animal blood, guts, eyeballs, intestines, everything.
Horrible, because watching that, the cinematography of it was amazing, but watching it, I was grossed out. But I want to talk about why the blood was pink afterwards. because blood is not pink. So I wonder.
Me watching Terrifier 2 this week. Hey,
like,
I watched Terrifier 2 this week. Let me clarify. I loved it. I just saw a joke and I went for it. No shade to the directors.
I would love to do that challenge, though. I think it seems to get, from what I was expecting of the Fright Feast and from what we saw in the trailer, I was expecting more like horrifying challenges. And bobbing for apples, I think it was a good starter, but I want to see more. I really want to see a competitor double think twice about doing it, because that's what's going to make that twist really exciting. Because it's like, if they have something that a competitor really doesn't want to do, but they also don't want to leave, and they might, what if your enemy has just recently left, and it's like you leaving the Fright Feast could mean your enemy comes back. So it's like, it adds so much to the season. So I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, because it's supposed to be like extermination level, and like the exterminations, like we've seen skydiving, we have seen getting stabbed with needles, we have seen like vac bed, like we've seen everything. Well, I truly think that we haven't seen everything, because the Boulets always know how to surprise us, but like we've seen it all. So these need to be like top tier, like holy shit moments. And after we found out about the new rules, I took a little peek at the season's trailer again, and I have theories about 2 of them that we're gonna see.
Ooh.
So remember that shot at the end of the trailer where Eva's like rising into the water, like in the little tank? So it looks like there's gonna be some sort of like water, like trap door stunt involved. It also looks like there's gonna be like a spinning cage type thing, and Melissa looks like she's about to throw up. So I was Nancy Drewing this shit afterwards. Like I was trying to figure it out. So I think yes, bobbing apples are a good starter, but I'm ready to see more. But as soon as they all go in, the first thing that I noticed is Kendra's wig went off immediately. Like, I don't even know. I didn't think she, like, dipped her head in yet. She just instantly went, boom, and then just dunked her head right in. Which, I mean, listen.
She was there to play.
First off, yeah, you're there to play, but also, that was a really good, nice pastel wig, and you really don't want to get that ruined. But everybody's just going for it. Wigs are getting messed up. Everybody is shouting all the curse words imaginable. And we find out that Astrud, for now, is the winner of our Fright Feed. Not only as a prize that she gets to, of course, stay in the competition, but for the Halloween house party, she also gets to pick the roles. Because we have 5 different roles. We have people dancing in the living room. We have the Ouija board. We have watching TV, pumpkin carving, and then a host. So Astrud instantly is like, oh my god, yay, I have all this power. And Melissa's a little salty because she thought that she finished, but it looks like it was bingo rules because Astrud did call it out first. So bingo rules trumps all. But instantly, everybody's like wanting to dance in the living room. I think it was Kendra, Melissa, Koco, and Erika, like all instantly call it. And eventually, like everybody's arguing, be like, I wanted to do this, I wanted to do this. And like, of course, there's got to be one person that doesn't end up dancing in the living room. And Koco was willing to step down, which I think really speaks to Coco's character, because she is a bad bitch. She is there to win, but also, like, she's not going to, like, trip a bitch on the way.
Do you think it could have been a tactical move?
I honestly think so. And honestly, for week 1, even if it was or wasn't, I don't blame her either way. Because you want to build those relationships early.
Yeah.
You can't be
smart.
Yeah, you can't be on week 8 and be like, by the way, can we like be friends? Like, no, you got to start building that now, because everybody already knows each other from the season, like past seasons, and especially for Koco, who is on the most recent season, she might not have as big relationships as, you know, like with Victoria or Yovska or Evah, and so I think it's a really smart play. But Astrud fully casts everybody, but then a PA walks in, and literally the note says, footage look back, or like footage recount, Melissa won.
Which, by the way, I want to say this is the first moment that I see production being like, you know what, let's stir the pot, because you can't tell me that they didn't already know that Melissa had won. They said,
they totally waited till after the roles were already decided.
Right? They waited for the roles to be casted, they waited for the costumes to be sewn, and then said, well, let's try this.
By the way,
that speaks extremely to my storytelling heart, because if production is involving themselves like that, I love it. I live for it. Give us twists, give us turns, give us watchable TV.
I mean, they called it GAGULA for a reason. And it's fucking GAGULA, bitch. Which I had a feel, which is why I'm so excited to have you on this episode, because already, like, the amount of storylines, the amount of twists and everything, and just knowing your production brain and everything, like with Sensation and just in general, like with your streams and everything, just, you're the perfect person to talk to about this. I knew you would live.
I don't know if it's in your notes, but I'm so excited to talk about like the early conversations of alliances that they were.
Oh, I have it all, bitch. I have it all. We're gonna get into all of it. But Melissa instantly just starts being like, all right, here's how we're gonna do things. Fuck what Astrud said. And then we officially get our teams. So she puts Astrud as the host to try and fuck her up, which, hey, it's Titans. We're not here to play around. Like, go for strategy. Go for strategy. Mm-hmm. Why not? And then dancing in the living room, we have Koco, Melissa, and Kendra, who seem to be forming a little bit of an alliance. Right off the bat.
Survivor.
Mm-hmm. Which they instantly named themselves the Nightmare Girls, which I think is a really fun name. Mm-hmm. And this alliance is very, very interesting because, like, at first when I was watching the episode, I was like, oh, great, cool, y'all are in an alliance. I don't really think it's going to come into play long term, but little did we find out, it was probably the best decision that all three of them could make.
Those are three of my favorite from the season so far, so I'm excited to see them together. I think that them talking about the alliance was pretty smart, even without the knowledge of what was going to happen next. I think having close friends in a competition like this is not only going to help you mentally, but going back to those storylines, like if you have friends in this competition, one of the biggest things to do is standing out, right? And that's either by having great talks or even like controversial conversations. And so I think they're setting themselves up to be like the it girls of the season. They're going to be on every single camera. They're going to be in every single conversation. And I'm excited to see what they do beyond, just dancing in the living room.
Well, we saw how that turned out, so I'm excited to see more. But for our team Ouija board, we have Evah and Hoso, which I don't know what Melissa was thinking putting these two together.
A great
duo. Because I think collectively as a team, Evah and Hoso, like right off the bat, I feel like are the best. Because like Hoso almost won her season. Evah, well, she didn't make it to the finale, was very much about to win. So I like Evah and Hoso, that is a deadly team that I would not want to go up against.
They have so much creativity between the two.
Completely. And both extremely good performers. So good. Our watching TV team, against their will, of course, is Erika and Abhora, who sit there in silence for like 20 minutes.
This was so shady. So shady. You might as well have just said, I want you both out, so I'm just going to put you in this position.
Well, we saw it. And then our pumpkin carving team is Yovska and Victoria, which at first on paper, I would never see these two working together. Mm-hmm. But they both are very, very, very creative. And I feel like Yovska especially has a lot of these ideas that like sometimes don't fully fit into the Dragula aesthetic, which Yovska even admitted in the Boudoir earlier in the episode. And Victoria also kind of does as well, because Victoria kind of got the critiques being like, Victoria, you're a great like SFX artist, but we want to see the drag come in a little bit more. So I feel like bringing those two together, who kind of have like a similar critique, I feel like they can kind of bring out that side in each other, which I think really works well for both of them. But we get our teams, and chaos just ensues. Instantly, we have Kendra calling Yovska a moon Teletubby with a toilet bowl on her head.
On point, by the way. Very on point.
Well, that's all I saw on my Twitter timeline that entire night. Nobody was talking about the extermination or anything. It was just Kendra going over and over, toilet bowl, toilet bowl. Like, so good.
That's how you know you can read someone, is if your read is trending, you did your job.
That, and also, like, I love for Kendra, like, she just kept repeating it. Like, it didn't matter whatever comeback Yovska had, Kendra was just like, but you're a toilet bowl. I fucking love Kendra. And after all this, the groups finally come together and, like, now they have time to rehearse, but nobody's rehearsing. Everybody's just talking. Astrud is over there with the Nightmare Girls talking about how she moved to New York. Erika and Abhora are sitting in silence. I feel like the only team that's like working well together, like right off the bat, are Evah and Hoso.
This is giving me the same energy as the Cauldron scene with where Dolly was narrating.
Yes, in episode 5.
It has that same energy, but this one's kind of more tamed. It's kind of like we're supposed
what the fuck
to be,
is happening?
And watching it, I was just like, but I would do the same though. Like you're kind of with friends, right? You're with friends,
literally,
and then you kind of forget you have a challenge in like 2 hours.
I know. Well, the way, unlike the Cauldron in season 5, nobody's mad at each other. But like the Cauldron in season 5, everybody is plotting each other's downfall. Yeah. Literally, I think one of my favorite moments was Abhora and Erika still sitting in silence, and Abhora's wig just all messed up. And then they're sitting there, and Abhora's like, I just want you to know I've resented you for years. And then Abhora just... Again, they're sitting in silence, and then Abhora goes, so, like, are you gonna change? Or just the passive-aggressive so are you gonna, like, change everything about you? Doesn't quite call for team success. If you had to be with one of these teams, though, who would you want to be on?
Oh, of course, Dancing in the Living Room, the Nightmare Girls. I think that those 3 roles were made to succeed. Did they? We'll find out, but I would want to go where you can do the most. I think the TV girls it was written to fail. The bed one would have actually been so much fun because I would have done like an Exorcist style of, performance. And I think the bed and the bedroom had so much potential.
So many storylines are happening, but I think we get what I feel like is the main storyline of the episode, which is this wild love triangle between Astrud, Hoso, and Abhora, which I feel like I need a whole chart to figure it out.
Yeah, it was just so, watching it was so interesting because it was like a documentary. I feel like I got a lot to learn. It was like a Hallmark movie, right? There was ups and downs, there was breakups, there was makeouts.
Empires rose and fell.
Empires rose and fell in less than an hour and 45 minutes, let me tell you. But I really am excited to see where this goes because I don't think we've seen the last of this love triangle, especially with the twist. I feel that we might get some triangular misconceptions.
I think so. I'm trying to remember how it goes. So it's Abhora likes Hoso, and I think even has a tattoo of Hoso.
Yes.
But Hoso doesn't reciprocate the same feelings, which is completely valid. And yes. Oh, yeah, you're right, because later. But then Hoso and Astrud do like each other, but they're very busy and live on separate sides of the world, so it doesn't quite make sense for them to fully be together. And Hoso does have a partner, but Hoso is poly, which, of course, we celebrate all of that. As long as that works for Hoso and their partner, that is their business, and that's all that matters. Do whatever the fuck you want.
I want to see like a Titan season of Hoso and all the people that have crushes on them and all her partners. I feel like that would be, that season, amazing. Give it an Emmy.
Eventually, like, somebody makes a comment about Astrud's ass, and then Astrud's first thing is she full up puts her ass on the table.
I saw the steam coming out of that. Like,
listen, it was a good ass. The toilet bowl comment, and then the, like, screen cap of Astrud's ass with the most stern face ever. That was the entire timeline on Twitter that night. I get, like, the love triangles, like, of course, like, these are real people with real stories. But I feel like to come right out of the gate with it, I feel like it just adds a little bit extra that, of course, will be great for entertainment purposes. But I don't know if it's smart as a competitor to dredge up all these feelings right off the bat.
Mm-hmm. You leave, I think, especially going into a competition like this, leave some stuff up for mystery, you know? I think everything could have unwinded differently, but I also think the urgency of possibly going home first, she just wanted to get everything out. I have a question though. Do you think that casting had any sort of idea about this, and did that influence their casting choices?
Oh! Well, I definitely think they knew about Hoso and Astrud, because that was very apparent on season 4.
Mm-hmm.
But, the Hoso and Abhora... That's actually really... I feel like they would. I think they did know. It seems like we're all done and about ready to get into the floor show. But then we have a whole nother disagreement to get into, which is Victoria versus Kendra. Which Kendra is like, I'm not a huge fan of Victoria because I feel like my team threw me under the bus for Monsters of Rock in season 2. Whereas then they cut to a confessional of Victoria being like, oh yeah, I love Kendra. I love seeing all my season 2 sisters. Like, Kendra has this whole thing that Victoria, like, didn't even know about. Victoria thought it was all, like, sunshines and rainbows, and Kendra's like, I've been harboring this for 18 years! Like, and I'm glad to see them resolve it, though.
Mm-hmm.
And as the Boulet said, we'll see how long that lasts, but I'm glad to see in the moment that it seems like they resolved it.
Yeah, and I think Victoria really reciprocated the feelings very well. I think it's definitely going to come back into play later on because it doesn't seem finished. It seems that if Kendra had all these feelings for years, I don't think it's going to be gone in just, a 5-minute conversation. I think Kendra's going to write Victoria's name down one of these episodes.
I'm glad to see, because Victoria could have easily been like, why didn't you talk to me about this? But I'm glad Victoria was very much just like, I didn't know this was a thing, but now that I do know it's a thing, let's address it. I love and respect you as an artist and as a person, and like I'm very glad that it seems like they made up, at least for now.
For now.
Drama aside, boudoir drama aside, now it is time for the Halloween house party, and the Boulets walk out looking so fucking good.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know we've already seen these looks because they wore them for the promos, but I just want to say it one more time. I fucking love these looks. But
they got a budget.
We are now going to get into our Halloween house party, and we're going to go one by one. We're going to talk about them in groups, and we'll talk about the look and just overall as a group. We're just going to do it in one nice, clean sweep here. So, first group, we have our pumpkin carvers with Victoria and Yovska, both as pumpkin heads. What did we think of Miss Victoria Elizabeth Black?
I think this has cemented Victoria as a true Titan. I think not only the look, the performance, the conception of everything I was glued to my TV. Like, this was the moment that I really think she cemented herself in the final of this show.
Okay, yeah, completely. Because I want to see everyone do well in this season, but I don't see Victoria not making the finale.
Unless in a league of her own right now.
Yeah, unless she gets voted out. But
that is true.
On a competitive standpoint, I don't see Victoria. Like, maybe she'll have a couple stumbles here and there because it's Dragula. Everybody does at some point. But Victoria just is on a level of her own. Just the shoes, the black and orange, this whole pumpkin head with the black hair and the orange streak, and the pumpkin like shreds and the seeds is the skirt and everything. Just,
the seeds on the stockings. The seeds on the stockings is what got me. That is a queen that, that is a monster that, thinks about the details.
Like, this look would have been perfectly fine on its own, but then we find out during the performance that it's a full-on reveal and it just comes off and it's just the inside of the pumpkin. It's just like, Victoria.
He made it drag and horror, and yes, this is a true Titan at work right here.
I have a theory. So, on Resurrection, remember how Victoria was like, I don't want to win my way onto season 4. I want to win an all-winner season and compete with the Titans of Dragula. So, I personally feel like Victoria is the reason why this title was even made in the first place. That's my one conspiracy theorist moment there.
Do you think Victoria will be pushed? I don't think she needs to. I think what she's shown so far, she can get herself to the end and to that title of, the next Dragula Titan. But do you think production, from a storyline perspective, will push her a bit?
I don't think she'll be pushed, but what I do see is Victoria has a very high standard that the judges are expecting from her. That if she meets that, of course, then like, all right, Victoria, you're doing great. Keep going, sweetie. But I feel like the Boulets have very high expectations for her. And I'm very curious to see how she would rise to that. Because I'm going to be completely honest. Well, I'm very excited to see Victoria on the season. I very much think she's going to make the finale. Like, I'm like, holy fuck, Victoria's been so amazing in the past. Like, I don't know how she's going to live up to that standard. But she instantly proved us wrong with this.
Yeah.
Just
hopefully
amazing.
She continues.
Mm-hmm. Next up, we have Yovska as Pumpkinhead number 1, which this look is great. So cute. So cute. And like Yovska was talking about earlier, like, yeah, sometimes my aesthetic doesn't quite fit into Dragula, and that was a main critique that they had, which eventually sent them home on season 3. But this is how you fit. I think this is a perfect way for Yovska to fit into the Dragula mold. Just like the main pumpkin head, but then the 2 pumpkin titties and everything was so cute. And the reveal was great. And the way she like did a little shimmy with it as she took it off, just adorable.
It's giving me very Nightmare Before Christmas. I could see this character living in that world.
Oh, completely.
I will say that everything from the chest up, perfect. Chest down, just like Victoria, and I hate to compare, but just like Victoria thought of a full body detail, a full body look, I think Yovska just needed that much more detail to really push this look over the edge. But I love where she's going. I love that she's not starting out super strong. She's giving us a nice ride, and I'm enjoying the ride so far.
I'm very glad that she didn't leave the coat on for super long. Because while the coat is cute, like, it is a performance challenge. And just, like, I think my favorite thing about the look, I might have to actually disagree with you a little bit. I love the, like, bottom half of the stockings. And I think the shoes, like, they are a black boot, but also, like, how, like, they have, like, the little, like, transparency to it. I think it's so cute. Like, Yovska had one of my favorite looks of the night. I think this is adorable. And especially next to Victoria, it is hard to keep up. And I feel like Yovska rose to the occasion.
She truly did.
Alrighty, everybody, we are moments away from getting into the looks and the performances from the Halloween house party. But before we get into that, we are going to take a quick little break. But don't worry, we will be back in just a second, so grab some snacks, grab some food, use the restroom, finish the sacrifice that's currently locked up in your closet that you forgot to slit the throat of, and we will be back in just a second. Hello, Minxies! Hope you're enjoying the episode. Today's episode of Jinxed with Minx is brought to you by a very special occasion. As we all know by now, both Nathaniel and Minx are always up to scheming new plans, plots, and projects. And today we are celebrating one of those amazing projects that, speaking for both Nathaniel and Minx, have changed my life forever. Today's episode is brought to you by Teeth, a Mystic Minx film, which has just turned 1 year old this week. It is the second installment in the Mystic Minx film series. I cannot thank you all enough for all the love that you've shown this film. It was so liberating for me in so many ways. I got to showcase myself and my art and my creativity in ways that I always knew existed inside of myself, but I never had the chance to let out until I did the film. I always wanted this film to be just a moment in a way that no project I've ever done before has ever been. And I truly feel like, thanks to all of you, I achieved that. With Nando being our guest host this week, funny little side note, Teeth is actually the reason that Nando and I met in the first place. On the night that the film premiered, not only did the film premiere on YouTube, but I also live streamed the premiere on Twitch. And when I ended stream, I raided over to a lovely streamer named Zapster. And Zap decided to show the film live on stream, which I'm incredibly grateful for in more ways than I can say. And Nando just so happened to be in Zap's chat at the time, saw Teeth, and ever since that day, we've become very close friends for a whole year now, and we even live now 30 minutes away from each other. So many other amazing things and opportunities have come from this film, and in more words than I can say, and in more words that I'm sure will come to me after this episode is already out, I just want to say thank you to all of you with everything I have and more. If you haven't seen the film, make sure to go check it out to get updated on the current Minx saga as we get ready for new chapters to come. And if you've already seen the film, just go watch it again. It's great. You'll love it. Thank you all so much again for showing all of your love on Teeth, a Mystic Minx film. Now let's get back to more Jinxed with Minx. Alright, everybody, welcome back. We are here with the one, the only amazing NandosHome, and we are talking about the series premiere of the Boulet Brothers Dragula Titans, the Halloween house party. So our next team is the Nightmare Girls themselves, the Dancing in the Living Room team, which is Melissa BeFierce as the vampire, Koco Caine as the mummy, and Kendra Onixxx as the Frankenstein. So what did we think of Melissa?
I adored this outfit. I think if I were to go see a drag performance, this is the type of caliber I would expect. You know, you were not always going to get the caliber that like Victoria Black's outfit gave us or Yovska concept gave us. I think Melissa BeFierce. I think Melissa BeFierce has a great eye for drag, and she doesn't need to go over, she doesn't need to go under, she's just right in the middle. She knows what she does well. The makeup on this, I can't stop staring at it. It definitely looks like a costume that I could make, and I love that idea. I love the idea that like a drag performer can make you feel that you can do that too.
I definitely think Melissa was the strongest in her group, and the Boulets even said that like Melissa like knew the choreo the best, she knew the words the best. They did cut to a shot though where she didn't know the words, so but I do like this look. I think from the titties up is my favorite part because I love the wings, I love the face, love what she did with the hair, I love the nails. I will say though, for some reason this corset doesn't 100% work for me, but I think the way you kind of said like Victoria like has her own thing and Melissa like does her own thing a little bit more. I think just personally with my taste, I just tend to gravitate more towards the type of art that Victoria does. Not to say I don't love Melissa's, because I do love this. I do think she was the strongest in her group. Is this my favorite look that I've seen from Melissa? No. Is it her worst? Not at all. I definitely think Melissa was very, very much kept her group going.
The shape of that bottom portion, it reminds me of the Addams family, the matriarch of the Addams family. What's their name?
Yes, Morticia,
yeah. And I love that silhouette on Melissa. I think Melissa has that sort of drag padding down. So I'm excited if she's able to kind of filth it up a bit more in the coming episodes if she makes it that far.
Yeah. Well, we definitely saw that on season 1, but that was in 2016. So
it's been,
I'm excited to see
how many drag years? Who knows?
I'm excited to see what she brings now. But next up we have Koco Caine as the mummy, which, of course, I love everything Koco does. Koco's amazing. I feel like Koco phrased it very well, being like, if I wanted to elevate it, of course I would, but I wanted to be slutty mummy at a Halloween house party. And she executed that very well. I definitely think, while this isn't the most, like she said, elevated look out of all of them, sometimes it doesn't have to be elevated.
Very true. I don't think this is giving slutty mummy. I think this is giving like last of the toilet roll. And the thing is, I love Koco Caine. She is literally one of my top monsters right now. I want to see their concepts because from what I saw in their season, that made me a fan. And this makes me realize that I need to order more toilet rolls.
Damn, bitch. Okay. I definitely think this is not Koco's strongest look that we've seen from them.
I hope not.
But I do still really like it. And Koco's personality, like, very much, like, Koco, like,
it
icon,
all the time.
Legend, love. But I do agree, like, when you just look at the look itself, because that is part of the challenge, because, of course, Dragula needs performers and personalities to push the world of Dragula forward. Koco has that in spades. But if you just look at the look, like if you put this on a mannequin, is a way sometimes because I'm not a main person where I just like judge the look. I judge like the whole ensemble. But if we were to just look at the look, just for a second here, if you put this on a mannequin and then like put every look here on a mannequin and kind of line them up, this one doesn't quite as much stack up for me. And I do think Koco kind of struggled to, like with the choreography where they were doing like the little sidestep and everything. Like Melissa knew it. Kendra knew it a good chunk of the time, and then Koco like was kind of just biting her nails, like kind of like on the side a little
Koco
bit,
which is
great.
Which
we love that. But when you're in a team and working together, Koco very much did stand out, and I don't think it was 100% for the best reasons.
I think.
Although I do gotta say, I love the little nipple pasties.
Yes, her nipples and her breastplate will always be iconic. I would have loved, now looking at this more, I would have loved if instead of a mummy, she would have gone like a straitjacket type of thing, like breaking out of a straitjacket. Because the way she uses her hands, she has great hand choreography. Just something to elevate it, because I want to see them really elevate this look and any looks moving forward, because they have what it takes to win.
I want to see Koco's concepts on the level of their personality.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think Koco can do it. I'm just very excited to see it. I do not think this is Koco's strongest. I do still feel like the best is yet to come. And I love Koco, so of course I'm happy to see more. Lastly, we have Kendra Onixxx as the Frankenstein.
Next.
Which... What? Okay. So, Kendra, and I agree with the Boulet's critiques on this, Kendra performed really strong. Like, I do think Melissa knew the choreography a little bit more. But Kendra still kept up. And like the part where Kendra sticks her hand in the toaster and she does like this, like that was great. So good. And then like she like takes her hand and then she instantly goes like ugh, and like instantly hit that like super sexy like pose and everything. Like I was like, yes, Kendra, I fucking love you. But I do think this look just wasn't the strongest. I love the makeup. I love the hair. She put on Instagram that it was very like Grace Jones inspired. I totally see it. But when you look at the actual look itself, it is kind of just a blazer and a pant. It's executive realness of the afterlife. But I do think, again, very similar to Koco, which is why I think also Koco and Kendra work very well together. Their personality like is so amazing that like it makes me just forget what they're wearing, and I'm just like, I just love watching them do what they do. What do we think of them all together as a group?
They're definitely in a living room and they were definitely dancing. And they're definitely in an alliance, but as in the challenge, I was rather waiting for other people to pop up on my screen. I thought they were going to be the people that I wanted to watch, but when I started to see the lack of coordination, it was camp to watch, but it wasn't what I was wanting to watch in a Halloween party challenge. But like I said, I'm excited to see the Nightmare Girls come out in the next episode and see what they bring, because again, this is the first episode, right? We don't want all of it at once. We can only take so much, but from what we saw, I'm like a little bit more.
Especially with the monstrous episode that this was. Like, it's okay to not show us everything right off the bat. But yeah, I do agree. I definitely feel like they were good and they're a fun group, and I think to see these three together throughout the season is going to be really fun. But I don't think this was their strongest night, which is okay. But I'm excited to see more from them.
Maybe if they were dancing in the bedroom, who knows? Just not the living room.
Speaking of the bedroom, our Ouija board team, I think as a team, this was our strongest team. We have Hoso Terra Toma as the pirate and Evah Destruction as the devil, which Hoso, amazing. I definitely feel, because the challenge was, yes, do like a cliche Halloween costume, but also put your drag into it, and I think Hoso did that perfectly. Because Hoso like very much has a lot of claws and fur and like weird geometry in their drag, and like this like almost like rusted beard and everything, just, and the hat and the little knife, just it was so Hoso in the best way possible.
It truly was. There was something about this outfit that I would have loved to seen it in a different challenge or in a different floor show, but seeing it with everyone else, it was kind of lost for me with so many details. But now looking at it up close by itself, I love this. I think this is one of Hoso's strongest looks that they've shown so far in their season in Titans. I think it needed its own space.
Something just hit me. Okay. To me, I actually now appreciate this look a lot more, because I just realized this is kind of a redemption in a way. Because from the ghost ship glamour look from Hoso's original season, which Hoso was in the bottom for, which I do think, like, I did like Hoso's look on season 4. It was very, like, ferryman type ghost ship, like, ferry, like, the person who, like, pushes the little, like, ferry boat and everything. Like, I got them. The gondola. Amazing Race Roblox. But, so, imagine if Hoso did this look for Ghost Ship Glamour, though.
And that's what I mean. Like, I think this look could have been even more elevated if it was standing on its own for a different floor show.
And then, Evah. Bitch!
Pure Dragula right here.
This was so good. This coat alone, everything. But then when she takes it off, and then she has this corset with the tail and the fishnets and the chest hair all out, painted red and everything, amazing. But my favorite part of this look is the pitchfork cigar with the 3-prong like cigars and all of it. And I think Evah, probably out of everyone, had my favorite performance out of anyone here. And there's this one moment in the challenge to where, like, yeah, they had like the whole lip sync, but then when they actually like the floor show montage bit at the end, there is this shot where Evah is like just licking the pitchfork, and they put it in the trailer, and I'm probably going to use it as part of the thumbnail for this episode, but it is just so fucking cunt and just so good. Honestly, my favorite shot of the episode, my favorite moment is just it's just like the whole, just so good.
I think this is what Dragula is, like this style, this image, this feeling. I love it. I love the upside down cross on her neck.
Yes!
I think it's the little details. It's the little details that just elevate it even more. I can't wait. I cannot wait what else she has in her suitcase.
I remember when I was halfway through watching season 3 the first time as it was airing, I was, because season 3 was actually the first season like I watched as it was airing. Mm-hmm. And I remember being like, oh, I think Evah's gonna win. And then the moment that Evah had her downfall was when she started to get into her head, which like that happens a lot on these shows, and none of us can even comment or pretend to know what that's like until we actually experience it in real life. But up until that point, like, Evah was fucking top 3 material, and still is, but I think as long as Evah can keep on this trajectory, I really like the vibes that Eva's bringing in. And if she can keep on that, she's going all the way. And also, really funny note, also, she made a TikTok that her confessional look is actually a wig, and it was so funny. But it's so good. But next team that we have our host, which is Astrud Aurelia as the creature.
Which of the Black Lagoon.
Astrud was great.
Definitely as the host, yes.
Because, like, Melissa's intention and even what the Boulet said, this could have been a death sentence for Astrud. And she really rose to the occasion. I know Astrud doesn't know who the fuck I am or anything and has no relationship to me, but, like, I'm so proud of her. Like, because just, so good. I think this look is amazing, and I think, out of all the photos that, like, everybody released online after, like, for the photo shoots of their looks, I think Astrud had my favorite photo shoot, because this look, and just, like, the little smile, like, the little waves that she was doing, and just, like, that, ha, hey, ho, ha, like, I realized in the Waluigi look that just made what I just did so much better, wah! But, like, just, Astrud really rose to the occasion, and I'm very proud of her to see her come back, like, so much stronger and with a clearer head this season. I feel like Astrud's here for a long time.
They really are. I think I have the same critique as I did for Hoso. I would have loved to see this look on a different floor show, but it's incredible. Like, looking at it up close, the details, the things on the forehead remind me of the Ouija triangle.
Yeah,
it's a great look. I just wish it would have shined a little bit more on its own for like some sort of water themed floor show. But hands down, I think they did a great job. And if I was Melissa, I actually would have put Astrud in the watching TV section. Because what better way to kind of screw someone over than giving them nothing to do?
Yeah. And I really like that Astrud chose this, because ever since her season, like, originally around season 4, she was like, I'm fashion rocker is kind of like her main aesthetic. But now, since she's really adopted like this lizard, dragon, reptile creature, to see her come out of the gate with it and see it done so successfully, I think is great. And just, like, yeah, just, I love Astrud. So good. So good! And next, we have the watching TV, which I know the one that we're both thinking of, and I'm purposely saving that one for last. Next up, we have Erika Klash as the Bat. What do you think?
This is very Spirit Halloween. Like, I probably wanted to be this when I was in 5th grade. Not saying that it's not bad. I'm saying this is actually.
I was gonna say, I actually like it. I really like this.
It's cartoony chic, and I like this. It's very Halloween. It's what I think when I think of like Halloween Town, that sort of aesthetic. I think Erika got it. Is it comparable to any of the other outfits? No, but none of the other outfits are very comparable to each other, because I think everyone brought a different feeling and aesthetic. But I think Erika Klash actually did the best at capturing what Halloween is. It made me feel like trick-or-treating like a kid. That's what I enjoyed about it.
Yeah. And the nails are great. This face, this is the same makeup that she did on the tour, because she actually, on the tour, she did, because they had like a little guest at every single stop. And I saw the Philly show, and Erika was the guest that night. She wasn't at the meet and greet, but I still got to see her perform, and I'm very happy that I did. Because she did like a whole bat number and everything, and like she performed it so well. So like when I saw her bring this out here, I was like, oh yay! Because when they filmed this, like she probably just did this like 2 months prior. Like that was kind of cool to see. But the wings and everything is super cute. And I do agree, there's nothing wrong with this. It's super fun. Just when you line it up to everyone else, I really like that Boulets especially point out, like, to where Erika ended up position-wise, that they were saying, Erika, we love what you did. You're placing where you are tonight kind of by default. Mm-hmm. And you're on the right track. You have the right mindset. Just amp it up a little bit. And I think, like, Erika didn't do anything wrong. I think this is great. I personally thought she was definitely safe. Yeah, I love this. I think she did great, and I definitely feel like she did carry her team very strong. Mm-hmm. And very much kept it together, because her partner was none other than Abhora as... question mark. What's that alone? The question mark. So good.
The shadiness of the editors. I'm telling you, they're working overtime and they are not afraid.
You can take this one. Like what's
Hey, now looking at it, I think Abhora is a theater kid. And the reason why I'm saying this is because theater kids do the most. You know, I'm a theater kid, and it's like we want to put a metaphor on a metaphor, and I think this was maybe a 4 out of 10, but like
metaphor.
Now looking at it, I like the idea of, you know, the sausage fingers, and I just looking at it, it makes me uncomfortable. I don't know what it is. It feels like I want a video game just with this character. He has a good pump on, like the shoes are on point. Mm-hmm. Everything else didn't have a point.
Well, so Abhora did reveal that their original plan kind of fell through. And I forget the exact name of the reference they were going for, but there is a picture where like they have this like whole glowy mask and everything on the front, which and they did tell Elvira on the judging panel being like, I was trying to go for like an alien type look, which I do kind of see it, and it is a shame that the mask originally kind of fell through and their original concept kind of fell through and the execution just wasn't fully there, which is always a shame. Like, I've been there with my own ideas, like, and I can't even imagine, like, when you're on a competition like this first week where you're just like, like, so, but even look aside, Abhora just did not really know the lip sync super well, which I think is very unfortunate. Erika knew the words, and Abhora was just kind of standing there, and just like when they didn't know the words, they would do like the like smile with like the little like head shake and just like tried to get into character as much, which I do appreciate. If you're performing and something isn't going wrong, play it off. That I appreciate. But on episode 1, and if you don't know the words, like it's just there's not much to work off there, which I think is really
agree. And I think what we saw previously before the Floor show with, you know, the love triangle, I think that impacted a lot of what happened afterwards. And I think I want to know more about his mind. And
well, Abhora definitely, like, not only in the boudoir, but also in the challenge, was here to cause chaos and leave. And I appreciate that.
He did that.
Oh, he did. Yeah. Well, I do love the Boulet saying, though, that, like, I don't think there's an artist out there quite like you. And Abhora definitely does what Abhora does best, because Abhora's like just one of a kind in the best way possible.
Abhora is Abhora. Mm-hmm. Put that on a shirt. Stamp it.
Yeah, if you see a dead bird, it's just Abhora. No. But I do have a quick question for you, because that's all the challenge looks and performances. But what would you have done for this challenge as far as like your
I would
look?
have done a chupacabra.
Ooh, okay.
A chupacabra style, or like a boogeyman style of creature, because one of the scary things for me growing up and even now is, you know, that mystery under the bed when you can't see, when your feet is hanging over. I think that
it's Waluigi, by the way.
It's Waluigi. I think I would attach into that fear for this, and really brought out not only my culture, but also the fear of like the chupacabra, the boogeyman, that unknownness in the dark.
Yes, I love that. I wrote mine down when I did my notes. I would have done a witch, hands down. And I would have loved to do, like, obviously my own version, but the route I would kind of go with it is kind of Evie Oddly's witch look that they
Okay.
did during the Monster Ball with like the hat, but like it's like slanted down, like the white contacts, because we know when Minx loves a little white contact moment. And I would have just like super like scraggly hair and everything, and just very like and everything. Just yes, I would have done a witch, hands down. Do you have like an area that you would have loved to do as far as what team it goes?
I really think that out of the most, I would have done the most in the living room, but I actually would have loved the Ouija board. Like I said, there's a lot to do with the Ouija board, the possession, the theatrics of what you could do with like an exorcist style of dance, whatever. I think that was the secret winner. You know, I think a lot of times in these challenges, there's scenes and characters written specifically to fail or to succeed, and then it's up to the competitors to kind of do what they want. And I think the Ouija board was secretly placed in there to shine out, whereas the living room dancing moment was, of course, you know, everyone wants that. They want to stand out. They want to have their full body. They want to have all that energy, but you don't always need that.
Yeah, I think the Ouija board, I would have gone with that one too. I would have either wanted to do the Ouija board, or I would have maybe wanted to be the host. Because I feel like I would kind of taken it like a similar direction, like Astrud, just kind of like, oh, hello everybody, and yay, and done, jazz hands, and haha. Like, oh my god, the Waluigi like just makes it perfect. But I definitely would have loved to do the Ouija board, because I feel like on paper, dancing in the living room sounds great. Like, oh, I'm a performer, dancing, bam, boom, got it. But if we saw the actual set, it wasn't a huge space for them to work with. And then you also have two other people that you need to be alongside with. Whereas in the bedroom with the Ouija board, you only have one other person to work with, and you also have a whole bedroom to work with. So I think the Ouija board's a lot smarter choice, and I would have loved to do that one.
I could imagine it. It would have been great. You on the bed, me coming from under the bed, just being like,
yes! Honestly, let's recreate it. No, let's get Grant, and then the three of us are gonna recreate the living room, and then, like, yeah. Who wouldn't know the choreo? That was the thing.
Grant, we won't tell him what we're doing. We're just like, dance.
He'll just be there holding Yoda, just like, what the fuck is going on? But now that we have the challenge out of the way, it is time to pass judgment. Our first guest judges, we have Justin Simeon, who is the director of the upcoming Haunted Mansion film. So excited. And then we also have someone who I've been waiting to see on Dragula since its inception. We have Cassandra Peterson, also known as the Mistress of the Dark herself. Fucking Elvira is in the building, bitch. I'm very excited. I think this Elvira on the premiere is the perfect way to go. So, the Boulets past judgment, we kind of already went through our critiques. So the placements are, the top three are Victoria Elizabeth Black, Astrud Aurelia, and Evah Destruction. Do you agree?
Yes and no. I think it was a great three. I really don't think Astrud. I think Astrud did a great job, but not like a top job. And that's only because as a host, I wanted to see more. Like I wanted my eyes to always be on the host, but my eyes just kept shifting. A part of me wanted to see Melissa in the top three.
Really?
Yeah, I swapped out Astrud for Melissa. I think again, Melissa with the look, she captured the aesthetic, and she did the challenge. One of the comments that the Boulet said tonight to one of the monsters was, don't overthink it. And I think most of the time these monsters overthink it, and it's like Melissa did what the challenge called for. Melissa showed up.
You did what needed to be done.
And honestly, that is all you need right now. We don't need to see everything right now. And I think Melissa captured the first episode very well from a story perspective, from a editing perspective. I think Melissa was the complete package of what I personally as a viewer wanted to see on episode 1.
I actually, when we were watching the episode, because for those of you who don't know, we actually watch every week together in our Discord watch party, which if you want to, make sure to join the Discord and get in there. It's a great time. But, so I remember as they were walking on stage, I literally shouted, I was like, my top three are Victoria, Astrud, and Evah. And the fact that they were the top three, I was like, yes! Like, I personally completely agree with the top three. I feel like they all did great. I've already voiced my reasons as to why. Like, they killed it. The ones that are safe are Hoso, Yovska, Melissa, and Kendra. And then our quote-unquote bottom three, because this episode they kind of did things a little bit differently, are Erika Klash, Koco Caine, and Abhora. What do you think?
I definitely agree with Abhora. I think Koco and Kendra would have been a good two other monsters to fill out that bottom three, just because with Koco the choreography, Kendra the overall look, and then Abhora with uncertainty. I think Save and the top three were kind of put in a certain way to kind of secure Abhora's exit, truly. From a production standpoint, I could definitely see how making sure that Kendra was safe, Melissa was safe, and Hoso was safe is really good for the progression of storylines, progressions of the show. I just would have really liked to seen no holds barred on who the bottom three are. I think that's what just needed to be completely turned up a bit. I love the twist. I love the gags that have been presented so far. I love the challenge. I just really want that bottom three to always be the true bottom three. Because if anyone can go home, there's no need to add these sort of other choices, right? If anyone can go home, just put out the bottom three and then let people decide.
Yeah. I'm very shocked to see Erika down there. And like, I really appreciate to say, Erika, you're kind of here by default. Abhora, I definitely do agree. But again, we're not the Boulets. Like, we're just here, just vibing. But I definitely feel like Abhora was the clear bottom, and then I feel like everybody else was kind of also by default, I feel. But we find out that the winner is Victoria Elizabeth Black, which I completely agree. I feel like anybody in the top three could have won. And like,
what did they win? Like, what did Victoria win besides?
I don't remember.
Do you win safety? Do you win an extra vote? Do you win an immunity idol? What is the win?
That's what I'm very interested about, because we then find out that nobody's safe. And I'm wondering, like they said, like they very made it clear, like who's safe, who's in the bottom, and who's in the top. But was Victoria safe, or could they have voted her?
Yeah, they really didn't speak on that much. When, from what I understood, is when you get down to vote who you want to be in that bottom two placement, or essentially to be eliminated from the competition, you can vote for anyone. I mean, we saw that happen.
Yeah, like Hoso voted for Yovska.
Yovska
was fine.
Yovska was chilling in the corner, and Hoso said, I want you out.
We then find out that the bottom two will be decided by vote, which is very Escape the Night. Very that, which I love that show. I would love to see season 5. But I love Escape the Night. Very that. And what I wrote in my notes is GAGULA, bitch, is all I wrote. Like, and they even said that, like, everything that we found out this week, there's still more twists coming. Which, of course, it's Dragula, of course. But everybody gets sent to the Cauldron after finding out that nobody's safe, which I guess also Victoria isn't. And everybody seems to be wanting to keep it fair for now. Like, everybody's like, all right, guys, like, we know who the bottoms are. Let's just keep it that way. And the votes are very much between Abhora and Erika, which I'm very shocked at. And I think Erika was mainly put there because, again, Koco had her alliance, which is, again, so smart that they made that move.
Yep.
Because at the time that they made it, we didn't know that was coming into play, but guess what, Mimi? Look where we are now.
Do you think the monsters knew about the twist before the audience
I don't think they knew deliberately, but like, if I'm there on the first season of Dragula Titans, I know something's gonna like get pulled. Like, again, GAGULA. Like, I think it'd be stupid to not think something was afoot. So, very, very, very smart decision. And everybody is kind of going off being like, well, Erika pleads their case, Koco pleads theirs, Yovska calls Abhora a feather duster. It's a whole thing. Who would you have voted for, though, is what I want to know.
Listen, if I am on Titans, and if I've had a journey prior to Titans on a different Dragula season, I would be there to compete. I would be there to really showcase my art, but also I would be there to make good reality TV. So I would have voted Astrud. I would have voted for Victoria. I would have voted for Evah. I would have voted for people that I knew that if I made it through the next week, I would have been like, yes, I voted for you.
But the thing is, we don't know. I guess we'll find out tonight, because at the time we're filming this, episode 2 comes out tonight. Do they get to know who votes for who? I feel
hope so.
like that may not be a week-to-week thing, but there is no way that that's not going to happen at some point.
And it's also, you have a safety net. Even if like the following week, let's say you get voted out because of who you voted for the previous week, you can still come back hoping that someone doesn't complete the Fright feat. And so that's what makes the season so great from a editing, from a progression standpoint, because anything and anyone can end up in that final.
And the way that like somebody could literally get eliminated at the top of the episode.
Yeah.
Technically, we could have 2 eliminations in one episode.
That is true. And we can have Abhora coming in back and going every other week, but still making it back. That can technically happen.
True. I haven't thought about that.
Abhora could make it to the final. Hopefully not with that look, but they could.
With only competing in half the competition.
half the competition.
Also, I wrote, this is my favorite moment of the entire episode. Koco voting is iconic.
That
the nails, and then they just go, how do you spell Abhora? And then just like y'all, this is serious, I need silence. Can I just text it? Like, just line after line, just a Rolodex of one-liners, just so good.
Koco knows where every one of those cameras is, and Koco will utilize them every single second of an episode, and that's why I love them so much. They know how to give us gags. They know how to make us laugh. They know how to keep us entertained.
As they said, I'll be that. Like I fucking love Koco. But the Cauldron, it was a good Cauldron. Like nothing will ever top the season 4 episode 5 one, but it was good. It was good. I wrote in my notes that, because everybody comes back out onto stage, and then the Boulets are like, we shall now reveal the votes. And the way that they could have just had like Israel hand it or something, but they do like a whole like lightning effect that they had for like the title card. I wrote Boulet lightning effect is camp, and I love it. It was so great. And then we find
sound. Just
yes, that's me when I don't wake up to the alarms to film episodes for this podcast. Oh, Cass, I'm sorry. But we find out that Abhora and Erika are the bottom 2, which I saw it coming, but I just don't feel like Erika deserved there. And it's not really like that. I know I said like I did potentially see Kendra being down there, but I don't really have anybody to trade out for the bottom 2. And I don't want to be that person to be like, it should have been this person. I'm like, I wasn't there. I can't change it, and I'm a viewer. I wasn't there. Like, it's not my place to say it. I just didn't see Erika there, personally, as my thing.
It didn't fit with your fantasy.
Yeah, and Erika, as soon as it got revealed that she was there, I wrote, Erika is pissed. She literally, in the confessional, she quoted, let me get my paper. She said, I want to punch them all in the face. If any of them go on to win, they better know that my blood will forever stain their crowns, those fucking assholes. Love it.
Very well said.
They ascend the stairs, and they both stand there, and nobody knows what the fuck is going to happen. They just know somebody's going to be descended into darkness. And then we find out that Swanthula just goes, Abhora. And then Abhora falls through the fucking floor and disappears, literally drops into darkness.
Skydiving into hell.
Well, it was very much like, you know that that Ellen bit sketch that she used to have, like the know or go? It was very that. But I did not see that coming. Like, even as I was watching, I was like, what's about to happen? Like, is Israel going to come by and like slit one of their throats or something? I did not expect the floor to fall.
There was no waiting. There was no moment to breathe. They said Abhora, and they were gone.
It was so fun. It was funny. It was so fucking funny.
I mean, it was so funny. We saw Koco Caine and Kendra laughing. They could not contain their laughter.
Oh my god, it was so funny. I think it's such a moment. I literally changed that to my Twitter banner. Like, it's Erika like, and then Abhora's just like half falling through and everything. It's so good. And these eliminations are going to be so funny. And if we're not going to get exterminations every season, I'm glad we're getting what this is. This is
Whatever
camp.
this is, we love this because honestly,
It's so great.
I was not expecting that. I truly wasn't. I'm sure a lot of viewers weren't expecting that, and I'm sure they're going to switch it up every episode because they'll get used to it. So it's like expect the unexpected. This is the big brother of drag.
Literally. And like not that I was expecting anyone to go home first, because I genuinely, like, I don't know if I said it last week or not, or in the last episode, but like, I really don't have a pick to go home first, but I did not see Abhora being the first out. No.
Because I see if you could have picked one out of the cast, who would have been the first out?
I honestly, and it's not because I want to have a pageant answer, like, I genuinely I can't pick. I didn't see Abhora. Because Abhora had a lot of drama on season 2, and I feel like Abhora's now been past that. And then, like, I'm shocked to see that Abhora's the first to go.
Did your thought change after you saw what Abhora wore on the floor show?
Yes. But I will say, imagine if what would be super funny, because also Abhora's promo look was hilarious.
Yes, honestly, that made me a fan.
I was gonna say, what if what Abhora wore for the party was their promo, and then the little goblin, like, berries and cream, like like what the fuck even is that? The Lord Farquaad looking thing was what they wore for this challenge. If Abhora did that, I feel like Abhora would have won this week.
Yeah, honestly, his promo look was one of my all-time favorite promo looks from any sort of drag competition because it's
so funny.
It's a look that makes you look twice.
It's so dumb, and I love it.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I'm the bitch dressed as Waluigi right now. Like, it's everything. And then as Abhora descends, of course, Erika's shocked for a second, but then she also just instantly just sticks out her middle finger at everyone, just waves it all around. I mean, I can't blame her. I'd be pissed too. I could sit here and say that I wouldn't be, but I'd be like, damn, week 1, god fucking damn it.
You know, also thinking about the votes, we don't know how many votes went towards Erika or Abhora. Abhora
They did reveal on the wiki. All the votes haven't been confirmed. I feel like there's 2 votes miscount, but as of, I believe the count was 3 votes Erika, 4 votes Abhora. So it was close. Wait, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, and then one for Yovska. Yeah. So whatever the other 2 votes were.
In that bottom 2 by just having 1 vote against you and all the other votes against the person standing next to you. So in reality,
oh my god, you're
really
right.
Don't know, and that must be so just mind-boggling to be like, how many votes? Oh my
god. Yeah. Holy shit. I am very happy to see Erika stay though. Yeah. Because I do think I feel like Erika's ready. And I really want to see her go all the way. Erika has the grit, we know it. And then the last note that I wrote is, as Erika pans out with the middle fingers, the camera slowly pans away to a like blacked out picture frame on the wall, and instantly Abhora's face just pops up there. Which I think is a fun homage, because I think last season in the Cauldron, every time someone got eliminated, like a piece from their past costume was in the background somewhere. So I like to see that we kind of have that this season too, where it's like all the souls that we have lost across this journey.
If someone comes back, do you think color will appear again?
That, or it'll probably just poof away again.
You just poof.
Poof. Well, that's how they brought him on.
If they do a rewind and Abhora just comes back up through that same,
it just fades out very like America's Next Top Model style, and it's like, bitches, I'm back. Oh my god, that's great. But that's our episode. Overall thoughts and opinions on where Titans is going. What are you expecting in episode 2 that we're literally watching in 30 minutes?
I am expecting for this to kind of set the format for future Dragula episodes and Dragula seasons. I think production finally has a way to get storylines intertwined in through the competitions. The Boulets definitely have it locked down on, like I said, they set the tone from the very first second. The format that they've developed for Dragula is solid right now. Could there be things that could be changed? Of course, but as a reality TV drag competition, I think it's solid.
I'm very excited for episode 2 because I feel like I've said a lot what I want to say about this episode, but as far as where's Titans going, I think my feelings can just be summed up to, I'm just ready for the ride. Yeah. I'm just ready to have some fun. I trust the Boulet Brothers. Like, they've never led us astray. Dragula has never led us astray. I'm just ready. And I pulled up their Twitter real quick, and what they tweeted, they said, trick or treat. There's a brand new episode of the Boulet Brothers Dragula tonight, coming tomorrow, Halloween night. They tweeted this yesterday. And they said, if you thought the first episode was a lot, this one is going to send you to the ER on a gurney.
I think someone's going to the ER.
You know what? You're right.
Yeah.
And you know what the best part is? We're going to find out together. I was referencing Trixie and Katya. But I honestly, I feel like we're going to have our first Fright feat.
Yes,
drop
our
out.
true first Fright feat. And
what are we calling that? If you could eliminate, I don't want to say dropout. I feel like that's a bad word choice.
I don't know. Exterminated, frighten, our first frightened monster.
We get the vibe.
We get the vibe. Who do you think will be the first to drop out?
I don't know. I feel like it all depends on the. I don't want to get. I know. I feel like I'm giving a pageant answer, but I promise. Like, I really just feel like it's gonna depend on the challenge. Because if it was something like, oh, go jump out a plane, I'd be like, hell yeah. If it'd be like, go jump into a pit of snakes, I'd be like, hell no. Like it'd be very that. Although I will say, let this be the preamble to my Dragula audition tape. I'm willing to do fucking anything.
Not in Waluigi.
Even
if
murder.
I was the Boulet Brothers and I saw this in an audition tape, I was like, this is scary. This is the
pinnacles are filth, horror, and glamour. Which one do you think this is? Glamour, of course.
Nathaniel, thank you so much for having me on. I truly have had a blast, and I cannot wait to hear your thoughts on further episodes of Dragula Titans.
Thank you so much, and thank you for joining on. I'm so happy to have you, especially for like the top of the season. Everything's getting going. You're the perfect person to talk to because I know you love your storylines. I know you love to play the producer role. Before you go, I'm going to open up the floor to you. Where can we find you? What are you up to? Give us the tea.
You can mostly find me on Twitch. I love streaming, and if you like drag competitions, I do that on Twitch. I turn streamers into drag sims, and I put them to the test. And maybe Dragula Titans might be inspiring some things. But that's mostly where you can catch me. If not, you can always catch me in Nathaniel's Discord.
And what's the handle that we can find you at?
When I change it in like 2 months, just bleep this.
Wow.
You can find me on everywhere, really, at NandosHome, because I am always home and I'm always hosting. Oh my god, that should be my logo.
Wait, that's actually kind of cute. Oh my god. But Nando, thank you so much for coming, and thank you all of you for watching and listening today. Remember that you can watch Jinxed with Minx on YouTube. There's a full video version, there is a full edited version. You get to see me, cool editing, all of our guests and their lovely faces, and you also get to see me dressed as Waluigi. Wah! And also make sure that you check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere podcasts are available. That's going to do it for us today. We will see you all next time. As I always say, film and fandom forever, and consider yourself jinxed with Minx. Wah!